नमस्कार, मैं डॉक्टर क्षितिज अग्रवाल, मेंबर फार्मा लॉ एंड प्रिंसिपल हरि कॉलेज ऑफ फार्मेसी। आज के इस विशेष कार्यक्रम में आज के हमारे एमिनेंट गेस्ट प्रोफेसर गिर और जितने भी हमारे व्यूअर्स हैं जो अभी हमें ऑनलाइन देख रहे हैं और जो इसके बाद ऑफलाइन देखेंगे, उनका हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। जैसा कि आज सब विदित है कि आप नेशनल यूथ डे का 12 जनवरी को मनाया जा रहा है, जो कि 162 बर्थ एनिवर्सरी है स्वामी विवेकानंद जी की। और मुझे लगता है कि स्वामी विवेकानंद से बड़ा यूथ आइकन इंडिया में तो अभी तक कोई नहीं हुआ है, जो कि हमारे यूथ के लिए बहुत बड़ी प्रेरणा स्रोत रहे और हमारी यूथ ने उनसे बहुत कुछ सीखा। फार्मा लोग ने आज दिन में भी एक संवाद कार्यक्रम आयोजन किया था, जिसका 1:30 बजे लाइव टेलीकास्ट हुआ, जिसमें हमारे फार्मा फील्ड के जो एमिनेंट स्पीकर्स थे, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के लोग थे, फार्मेसी काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया के थे, उन्होंने पार्टिसिपेशन किया। और उसी क्रम में हमने नेशनल यूथ डे के उपलक्ष्य में आज का ये जो विशेष कार्यक्रम में रखा है, जिसका आज का टॉपिक है रोल ऑफ यूथ इन accomplishing the mission of विकसित भारत by the year 2047। और इस समय ये हमारा बहुत सौभाग्य है कि हमारे पास बहुत ही हमारे एमिनेंट स्पीकर प्रोफेसर गिर जी हैं। मैं पहले सर का वेलकम करना चाहूंगा एक बार फार्मा लोग की तरफ से, और मैं ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन सर का देना चाहूंगा। प्रोफेसर गिर मेंटर हैं, हमारे बहुत ही सीनियर मेंटर हैं फार्मालॉग के, एंड ही इज एन प्रोफेसर in the Department of Pharmaceutical Science, University of Kashmir. He is working there from the last 22 years. Additionally, he served as a coordinator, UGC Human Resource Development Center, and as a director, Center for Career Planning and Counseling, University of Kashmir. He has delivered more than 200 extension lectures, besides publishing around 140 popular articles and 52 original research papers. Professor Gir is also advisor, Price Monitoring Resource Unit, and also member PG Curriculum Committee, Pharmacy Council of India. He is also member of NEC Accreditation Team. तो मैं फार्मोलोग की तरफ से गी सर का एक बार फिर हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं, और मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि सर की आज इस टॉक से और जो भी सर आज हमें नॉलेज शेयर करेंगे, इससे हमारे जितने भी व्यूअर्स हैं, जितने भी यंग स्टूडेंट्स हैं या जो हमारे फैकल्टी मेंबर्स हैं, जो फार्मा से जुड़े हुए लोग हैं, उनकी नॉलेज डेफिनेटली एनहांस होगी। और मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि सर श्रीनगर से लाइव हैं, तो जितना ठंडा मौसम है उससे उनके अंदर थोड़ी फायर आए और वो फार्मा फील्ड में डेफिनेटली कुछ अच्छा करें। तो मैं सर से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि वो अपना माइक अनम्यूट करके आगे की प्रेजेंटेशन स्टार्ट करें। वेलकम सर।
Welcome. Thank you, Dr. Kshitij Agarwal ji, for that introduction, and many thanks to Team Pharmalok for giving me an opportunity to share my views and ideas today on National Youth Day, which is celebrated every year on the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda Ji as National Youth Day or Rashtriya Yuva Divas. The idea is to motivate our youth, our younger generation, to inspire them through the teachings of Swami Vivekananda Ji, and so that they could lead us towards our dream, towards the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister of Viksit Bharat by the year 2047. And that's why today I have chosen the topic of accomplishing the dream of Viksit Bharat by the year 2047, and what will be the role of our youth in that. So when I say that a role of youth, it involves a role of youth from all sectors, not only from pharmacy sector, but from all sectors and all segments of the society. And that is very important, that all the youth belonging to all the sectors need to contribute effectively, equally towards achieving our goal of Viksit Bharat 2047. So therefore, I'm directly starting with my presentation and sharing my presentation. Dr. Agarwal, please let me know if my presentation is visible on the screen in full screen mode.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Right, thank you very much. So as I said, the topic is role of youth in accomplishing the mission of Viksit Bharat by the year 2047. And this is very important in the context of the 162nd birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda Ji. And today, the day is being celebrated as the National Youth Day. The theme that has been chosen for today is Sustainable Future, Youth for a Sustainable Future, Shaping the Nation with Resilience and Responsibility. As we all know that Swami Vivekananda Ji was a spiritual leader, a writer, a philosopher, a poet, and the chief disciple of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa. He was born as Narendranath Datta at Kolkata in the year 1863. And January 12 is celebrated nationwide as National Yuva Divas. And this day has been introduced right since 1984 by the Government of India, because Swami Vivekananda Ji had several achievements to his credit. He was an internationally accepted, accomplished, acclaimed writer and philosopher, and had turned into one of the most loved and followed leaders of the country. But unfortunately, he died at a very young age of 39 years only, on 4th of July 1902. And since 1984, we are celebrating this day. This year's theme is Youth for a Sustainable Future, Shaping the Nation with Resilience and Responsibility. So, sustainability is the key in this theme. If you observe, whichever day we celebrated in the previous year, whether it was the Teachers' Day or National, sorry, World Pharmacist Day, the sustainability word was inevitably there, because there is a lot of focus worldwide on sustainability, making our resources sustainable, making our economy sustainable, making our industry environment sustainable. There is a lot of emphasis on sustainability, and therefore this theme has been chosen for this year's National Youth Day. That is, we need to have our nation, our younger generation, our youth, who are working for a sustainable future, and they are contributing effectively towards nation building in a very resilient and responsible manner. So let us have a look at the teachings of Swami Vivekananda Ji. In case I'm not visible or I'm not audible, please let me know. Or in case the slides are not moving, please let me know so that I can
Sure,
take the
sir. Sure,
remedial
sir.
measures whenever needed. So
Sure,
let us
sir.
look at the teachings of Swami Vivekananda Ji. Swami Vivekananda was a young spiritual leader, as I said, and he had firm belief in the youth of the country. And he used to consistently impress upon the youth to take up one idea, make that one idea your life, think of it, dream of it, and live on that idea. And he used to impress upon the youth, let your brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body, soul, and mind be full of that idea, and just leave every other idea alone. That is the way to success. So this is the way to success which has been shown by Swami Vivekananda Ji, emphasizing upon the youth to have one single idea and make that your belief, make that your focus, make that your target, and put all efforts in that direction to achieve that goal. So one single goal. And he also has said, my faith is in the younger generation, the modern generation. They will work out the whole problem like lions. And his belief was, ironclad, and he had firm belief on the youth of the nation. And that's why he said, arise, awake, and do not stop until the goal is reached. His teachings have been a great source of inspiration and motivation for our youth, and we have been constantly drawing this inspiration since then. He said, anything that makes you weak physically, intellectually, and spiritually, reject it as a poison. We are what our thoughts have made us. So take care about what you think. Words are secondary. Thoughts live, they travel far. So he said, what is most important is the thoughts. So make your thoughts positive, constructive, progressive in nature. All power is with you. You can do anything and everything. Believe in that. Do not believe that you are weak. Do not believe that you are half crazy lunatics, as most of us do nowadays. Stand up and express the divinity within you. So, Swami Vivekananda Ji was always targeting the inner self of the youth, the inner thinking, the inner ideology, and the belief system. And he also said, on a day when you don't come across any problems, you can be sure that you are traveling down the wrong path. So we need not be afraid of the problems. We need not be afraid of the hurdles and hiccups in our day to day life, in our life and career. We need to overcome those hurdles. We need to make them our stepping stones, and we need to reach to our goal. We need to march uninterruptedly towards the goal that we have set in our life and career. So same words have been reverberated by our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, when he gave the vision of Amrit Kal. He coined the term of Amrit Kal. And in his address on India's 75th Independence Day on August 15, 2021, Honorable Prime Minister unveiled a national blueprint for Amrit Kal. As we all know that we have been celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav in the context of the 75 years of independence. But that ended in 2021, and there onwards we have stepped into the Amrit Kal. The Amrit Kal is that when we have to strive to become developed, when we have to strive to become Viksit by the year 2047. And Honorable Prime Minister said that we need to have the same kind of fervor, enthusiasm, our energy, excitement, which we used to have at the time of independence. So the Prime Minister says that the plan focuses on limited state interference in the day-to-day life of citizens, empowering small farmers, rural economy, energy independence with programs such as National Hydrogen Mission, a boost to manufacturing sector, technology, infrastructure and startups, employment generation for the youth, equality for women and vulnerable sections of the society, and balanced local development. So this is the plan, this is the roadmap which Honorable Prime Minister has laid out for the country for achieving our mission of Viksit Bharat by the year 2047. And he says that we have to move from Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to enter the Amrit Kal, ushering into a new era of prosperity and equity by lowering social barriers and transforming lives with knowledge and compassion. And the Prime Minister went on to say, trying to boost the morale of the countrymen, he said that this is the period in the history of India when the country is going to take a quantum leap. For India, this is the time, right time. Yahi samay hai, yahi sahi samay hai. We have our freedom struggle as huge inspiration. When national efforts got concentrated to one goal of independence, that is over. We have achieved that. Now, today, the aim of our goals, our resolutions should be only one, that is to contribute towards developed India. And does not end up with I. India just like begins with I, and developmental efforts begin with self. So though it is a collective responsibility, but each one of us has to start from his own self. We have to do the introspection, and we have to begin with our own selves. When citizens start doing their duty, the country moves forward. So Prime Minister said that the exam date has been declared for us as citizens of the country. We have 25 years of Amrit Kal in front of us. We have to work 24 hours a day. Youth power is both the agent of change and also the beneficiaries of change. The roadmap of progress will not be decided by the government alone, but by the nation. Viksit Bharat has to be built through Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, and Sabka Prayas. These are the golden words of the Prime Minister, which he said while addressing governors and vice chancellors last year on this very day, while releasing the Viksit Bharat Abhiyan. So the thing is that we need to work on our youth in a holistic manner, in an integrative manner. Our students need to develop all the capacities, all the competencies, all the skills and strengths which they need in order to effectively contribute towards Viksit Bharat. So all-round development of the students and the youth has to take place. They need to be effective members of a family. They need to be effective members of their religion, of their neighborhood. They need to participate in different government programs, in academic and research programs. They need to be effective contributors towards social services. They need to learn from their peers and follow their agenda and carry on with their program. They need to work, on all aspects of their personality, and there has to be a holistic personality development. So they should be good contributors and effective not only in their family but also in their school and at their workplaces. They should be having a balanced mind, and they should be effectively contributing in every sphere of life. Then only our youth, our country has the advantage of the demographic dividend. That is, more than 65% of our population is between the age of between the age of 18 to 35. So we need to take advantage of this demographic dividend, the youngest population we are having. Therefore, it is not without challenges. This Viksit Bharat is very ambitious and promising, but not without challenges. We need to balance our economic growth with environmental conservation. That requires careful policy implementation and public participation. Therefore, coordinated efforts are needed among various sectors, industry, stakeholders, which will be very crucial for the successful execution of this plan. And then only this plan will become successful. So there apart from the academic credentials, our youth and our students need to develop soft skills also. These soft skills are very important in the contemporary world. These are the needs of the industry. So we need to have degrees which are demand driven, employable, which are industry oriented. So we need to have these soft skills. Our students need to develop communication skills, self motivation, leadership qualities, responsible attitude, teamwork aptitude, problem solving nature, decisiveness, ability to work under pressure, time management skills, flexibility in their approach, negotiation and conflict resolution. So, only when our youth develop these soft skills, they will be effective managers. They will become good communicators, good leaders, good teachers, good academicians, good researchers, and then only they will make some substantial progress in their life and career. So these are important soft skills which need to be inculcated among our youth, and then only they will become effective contributors in the society. So this is very very important that no nowadays most of the students are focusing only on their academic credentials, but when they appear in interviews for various industry oriented jobs, somehow they do not perform very well in these soft skills. So this needs to be taken simultaneously. I'm sorry, my slide is getting a little stuck, so it is taking a little time to change over. So now, is the slide visible? Five domains of youth development.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you. So there are these are the five domains of youth development. That is, youth development has to be holistic, integrative, and all-round development has to take place. It is not that we will develop youth who are only good at studies but not good at sports or not good at other work and life skills. Holistic development has to take place, whether it is the development in the education, or they have to be healthy, they have to be physically fit, and they have to develop their employable skills, employability, their competencies, so that they will become employable. They need to acquire those skills which are required by the industry, which are needed by the industry. And they simultaneously need to take part in civic activities. They should not be confined to only studies. They need to participate in civic activities also, and if needed, they need to become the leaders of the country as well. So they need to participate in all the spheres. These are the five domains of youth development. And then there is this positive youth development, which emphasizes and focuses on sports skills, school engagement, healthy living, positive character, self direction, teamwork, leadership, community engagement. So all the educationists and teachers need to work on all these spheres. That is, they just don't need to teach, but they also need to enforce, affirm, and they need to inculcate all these attitudes, all these skills and aptitude among our students and youth, because these are the 6 C's which are needed for effective youth engagement. 6 C's: connection, confidence, character, caring, contribution, and competence. Connection, a feeling of safety, structure, and belonging. Confidence, a sense of self-worth and mastery. See, if our youth have good sense of self-worth and self-esteem, and they have a belief in themselves, they will not commit suicide, they will not resort to drug abuse, they will not resort to antisocial activities. So therefore they need to build character, taking responsibility, and a sense of independence and individuality. They need to be caring. They need to have sympathy and empathy for others. They need to have commitment to social justice. They need to be good contributors. Active participation and leadership skills have to be there, which will make a difference in the society. And they need to develop competence to act effectively in school, in workplaces, in industry, in social gatherings, and also at work. So that is the holistic model of effective youth engagement, which has been developed by Richard M. in the Good Teen. And this 6 C's approach has to be there. Nowadays, we see that most of the youth and our students are busy using electronic gadgets, and most of the time they remain busy watching reels and videos and spending most of their time on social media networks. Well, there is no harm in spending time on electronic gadgets or social media networks. While most of the teachers and parents are working to take them away, they are, emphasizing their children and forcing them to stay away from gadgets. But the idea, the change is taking place. This digital revolution is occurring everywhere in the world. So we cannot keep our youth away from the gadgets for too long. Somehow they will try to manage to get access to the gadgets and to the social media. But what is more important is to tell them how to make good use of the gadgets, how to make positive use of the social media, and how to stay away from all sorts of negativity. So instead of taking them away from the gadgets and social media, we need to teach them how to make the best use of it, which will help them build their life and career, which will help them become achievers and contributors towards progress of the nation. So in this diagram, you can see on the right side are the potential threats, and on the left side are the contribution towards youth development. So we need to make use of these electronic gadgets and social media for the purpose of education, career development, social networking and civic engagement, entertainment whenever needed, health and lifestyle. So there are a whole lot of these icons and tools and websites and media sites which are promoting health, lifestyle, which are promoting social networking, career development, and we need to draw our youth towards that direction. And we need to take our youth away from cognitive decline, from those sites which are promoting addiction, which are promoting these violence and antisocial behavior, which are promoting cyber crimes and misinformation, and which are leading to cognitive decline. So the potential threats have to be minimized and potential benefits have to be maximized. And that is what will, help our youth make the best use of the social media. So we are aspiring to become the third largest economy of the world. Currently, we are the fifth largest economy in the world. And India has pursued economic development initiatives and reforms to achieve its goal. Our country has made remarkable progress in diverse manufacturing, services, and technology sectors. And these efforts have positioned us as a significant player in the global economy. So by the year 2027, we are aspiring to become the third largest economy, and at present United States of America is the first largest economy, followed by China, Germany, Japan, and at the fifth place is India, the fifth largest economy. But we are aspiring to become the third largest economy of the world. So in order to become the third largest economy, we need to see what has made the other countries which are ahead of us, how they have achieved this status. So the United States, for example, has held this title of the largest economy of the world in terms of GDP since 1890. And the history of US economy is very captivating, which is strongly influenced by several significant factors. So what are the drivers of this huge economy? The drivers are innovation, entrepreneurship, trade, government policies and regulations, and technology. Similarly, if we look at other countries, what drives them to become the largest economies of the world? In China, it is driven by massive population, vast labor force, consumer market, the strategic focus on infrastructure development, technological advancement, and industrialization. Similarly, Germany's economy trajectory has changed in 1950s, 60s, and 70s, and has since then remained among the largest and most competitive economies worldwide, known for its strong manufacturing base and technological prowess. So it has a highly skilled workforce and robust infrastructure, which is pushing its manufacturing sector, services sector. There is a lot of skill development and vocational training programs are being conducted. They are making a lot of progress on the educational front. Similarly, in Japan, which is ranking at number 4, after the World War II and even after the this Nagasaki Hiroshima debacle, they have emerged as the world power and economy because of the technological advancements, because of innovations and technology, export-oriented approach, strong manufacturing capabilities, robust services sector, and export-oriented strategies apart from government policies. Now, even Singapore and South Korea are running very fast, and we have a stiff competition with them for the third slot in the world economy. And they are also making a lot of progress. So, if we study their models too, we will get to know how they are propelling the engines of their growth and how they are progressing towards the highest economy, world's largest economy's status. So that will help us gain insights how our country can become the third largest economy, because that is one of the important goals of the Viksit Bharat. Our country has 1.4 billion people, which is the largest market. And the demographic dividend, which I earlier talked about, the youngest population of the world. And then we need to work on our information technology, service sector, agriculture. We're already strong in agriculture, in food grain production, in pharmaceutical industry, manufacturing industry. We're very strong, and we can propel these industries further, and in order to achieve that status. So what will be the key components of the Viksit Bharat plan as per the Niti Aayog? The Niti Aayog says that an renewable energy revolution will be the key feature. So we need to scale up the deployment of solar energy, wind, hydro, and other green energy sources, so that to reduce carbon emissions, and which will bolster energy security and create new employment opportunities. Similarly, Niti Aayog says that sustainable agriculture and food security will be a key driver towards our dream of Viksit Bharat, and eco-friendly transportation, wherein electric green vehicles, more and more electric vehicles are used, and fuel-driven emissions are minimized. Then there is need for circular economy. Circular economy means wherein you are recycling everything. You are reducing waste generation. You are promoting recycling and responsible consumption. So circular economy means wherein you are maximizing resource utilization and minimizing resource consumption. We should not become a consuming society which only thrives on consuming but not on circulating, not on preserving our resources. So therefore, Niti Aayog aims to create a sustainable economic model, so that there is a circular economy and green infrastructure. Green infrastructure means wherein we make use of these green energy, solar energy, wind energy, climate resilient, because climate and ecology is going to be a big this area where we need to give attention, because economy cannot be at the cost of environment and ecology. That is why we say sustainable economy. Sustainable word is being used so that while we make economic progress, we also take due care of our environment and ecology, and economy should not come at the cost of environment. So if we look at the present Indian economy, a snapshot of the Indian economy at present, so we will observe that we have been continuously making progress over the last 10 years in all the sectors. So this picture shows the GDP, gross domestic product, which reflects the overall income of the nation. So this the GDP is going down slightly, maybe because of COVID-19 pandemic. Since 2021, it is showing a decline, but now it is recovering. Fiscal deficit is decreasing, which should decrease. Deficit is not a good thing. So it is decreasing progressively from 2021 to 23-24. Foreign exchange reserves are constantly maintained from 2021 to 23-24. Food grain production is increasing, though slightly slowly, but it is not decreasing, it is increasing. Industrial growth has decreased a little, maybe due to COVID-19 again. And services sector growth rate of the gross value addition at basic prices has slightly decreased last year. So in this picture, we can see what are the areas where we need to pay our attention, which need improvement, and what are the areas where we are making good progress and we are already making good achievements and accomplishments. So then we can talk about the model of development. Once we know our strengths and weaknesses, once we do a SWOT analysis, that is where we are strong, where we are weak, what are the opportunities and what are the challenges. Once we do with that SWOT analysis, then we can think about the most appropriate model of development. There are several models of development actually which are available, which we can pursue. For example, one is the market based model of development, because it is a 25-year journey till we achieve Viksit Bharat vision. So during those 25 years, what kind of development we need to achieve? What will be the model? The market based models are either they are capitalist or socialist models. The capitalist model of development assumes that in order to achieve development, we should apply the principles of capitalism. As you all know, capitalism means that private ownership of the means of production and competition. It is completely privately owned by the corporates. Then the next model is social model of development, which means that in order to achieve development, we should apply principles of socialism. The socialism says that everything should be state controlled, economy should be state controlled, there should be fair distribution of resources among the population. The third model, the main difference between these two models, that is the socialist and a capitalist model, is the level of state intervention, which has to be minimal according to the capitalist model, while the economy should be completely state owned as per the socialist model. The next model is the welfare model of development, which recognizes the value of industrialization, economic growth that comes from an open market, and also considers the need to regulate market forces to prevent any kind of exploitation. That is, it seeks welfare of all the segments of the society, and it seeks to apply that welfare measures for all sectors. But the most appropriate model of development is the sustainable development model. And that's why in this today's theme of the National Youth Day, there is this sustainable development and the contribution of youth in that. So sustainable model is very effective and very important because it simultaneously takes care of social development, economic development, as well as preservation of environment and ecology. So nothing comes at the cost of the other. The economy does not come at the cost of ecology. Ecology does not come at the cost of society. Everything runs parallel. It embodies the understanding of links between economical advances, upholding human rights and environmental impact, and it also approaches development as an issue that needs to be tackled globally rather than at nationally or at regional level. So it says that it has to be tackled globally because all these socio-economic and ecological and environmental development is equally important. And that is why the development model aligns very well with the sustainable development goals of the United Nations. As you all know, that United Nations has given 17 sustainable development goals and 100 indicators for development, which are known as SDGs or sustainable development goals, that needs to be achieved by 2030. So it presents a comprehensive agenda how to achieve, how to make progress on these 17 goals, and how to make progress on each and every segment and front of the society. So it gives us an index and a dashboard on how to monitor progress on SDGs. For example, SDG India Index is there, or Multidimensional Poverty Index, Progress Review, Northeastern Regional Index is there. So there are several indices on which we can monitor our progress towards Viksit Bharat. We can monitor our march towards Viksit Bharat, but we need to have a very close monitoring of all these 17 sustainable development goals shown in this particular slide. As you can see, goal number 3 deals with good health and well-being, and goal number 4 deals with quality education. Similarly, there are other goals dealing with poverty, gender equality, clean water, affordable clean energy, economic growth, infrastructure development, reduced inequality, sustainable cities, responsible consumption, what I was talking about, the circular economy, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and partnerships for the goals. So all these 17 goals, sustainable development goals, are equally important. We need to have indices to monitor their progress, and we need to continuously and constantly see what is the rate of progress that we are making. Is that rate sufficient enough to achieve our goals in 2047? Wherever we are becoming sluggish or slow, we need to pace up and we need to accelerate our march towards that goal. So first and foremost, I would say, what are the major areas which need consideration for Viksit Bharat? In my opinion, first and foremost is controlling the population growth. See, the population growth rate of our country decreased from 1.25% in the year 2014. It has already decreased to 0.8% in the year 2023, but still it has crossed 140 crores in the year 2021. While as United Nations has projected India's population to be 164 crores by the year 2047, and of which nearly 82 crores shall be residing in urban areas. So this will put a lot of pressure on our natural and man-made resources. It will put a lot of pressure on healthcare and education facilities, employment opportunities, land mass available for agriculture, demand for food grains. Therefore, government needs to strike a balance between economic growth and population growth in our country. And we need to reduce the pressure on demand on our available natural and man-made resources. So this is the first and foremost area which needs to be addressed. The second area which needs to be addressed is poverty alleviation. Again, a lot of progress has already been made, as pointed out by Niti Aayog. A significant step in 2021 was there by when they released the multidimensional poverty index. And as per this index, around 24.9% Indians were assessed as multidimensionally poor in 2015, but this percentage has come down to only 15% in 2021. Now, in order to achieve the reduce the poverty further, so as to become Viksit by 2047, we need to fully adhere to sustainable development goals, and we need to make progress in terms of nutrition, child and adolescent mortality, maternal health, years of schooling, school attendance, availability of cooking fuel, sanitation, drinking water, housing, electricity, assets, and bank account. These are some of the indicators on which we need to make progress, sustainable, consistent progress, so that we can alleviate poverty in our country and we can have a well developed nation by the year 2047. So, because India has been witnessing a steady decline in poverty and constant rise in peace, progress, and development over the last 10 years. More than 6 million people have been brought out of the morass of poverty during this period. So I'm sorry, my slide has got stuck. I'll just stop sharing for a moment and share my slides again. Yes, I'll share my slides again. Please hold on. All right, sir. Gurwalji, is my slide visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Poverty
thank you.
elevation.
Right. Poverty alleviation. So I will be in this mode, because when I go to the slideshow mode, it is getting stuck. Is the text visible in this mode?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is visible in this mode. No
In
problem.
that case, I will continue in this mode and not go to the full slides show mode. So
No problem.
next area is the enhancing the rate of literacy, because we have to make every individual literate, educated. In comparison to the last census conducted in the year 2011, the literacy rate in India has already increased by 8% in 2027, and now it is 77.7%. As per the Ministry of Education, Government of India, the literacy rate in rural India stands at 67%, while as in urban India, it stands at 84%. And according to a UNESCO report, India will achieve universal literacy in the year 2060. Now, here is the challenge. UNESCO is saying that we will achieve universal literacy by the year 2060, but if we want to become Viksit in 2047, we need to achieve universal literacy by the year 2047 itself. And we need to work day and night towards that goal. And we need to address those states which are having less than 80% literacy. For example, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Arunachal Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Meghalaya, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Jharkhand, Manipur, Odisha, and West Bengal. These are the states which are having a literacy rate of less than 80%. So they should be the prime targets for increasing our literacy rate. Similarly, we have a new education policy in place, which is a remarkable historic policy, which has come after 37 years, first policy of the new 21st century, and which is a very progressive and prospective, very promising policy, which seeks to increase our gross enrollment ratio to 50% by the year 2035. And it also seeks to reduce the school dropout rates. It seeks to continuously increase our college population index, institutional density, pupil teacher ratio, gender parity index, besides coverage of marginalized sections like SC, ST, OBC, and differently able students. The next area which needs to be addressed is increasing employment opportunities, because as I said that 65% of total population in India is aged between 18 and 35 years, and 50% population is aged at 29 years. So we have a huge demographic dividend which is expected to continue until at least 2056, and it is likely to peak in the year 2041. Therefore, when the share of the working age population aged between 20 to 59 will increase to 59%. So this is the period up to 2041. We have to make the maximum progress, and we need to take full advantage of this young population. And there is also a concern among 102 countries worldwide which have said that population is aging and fertility rates are decreasing. 54 countries have brought in policies intended to raise their fertility rates. So while on one hand the population is increasing, but at the same time the fertility rates are decreasing. So in order to increase the fertility rates, our government needs to work on healthy lifestyles, good food habits. Our youth need to work on less use of alcohol, smoking, and drugs. And at the same time, they need to enhance the employability, making our youth more productive and resourceful for our nation. So that is the employability skills have to be inculcated. They need to be make industry ready, and they need to be made 21st century skills need to be incorporated. The next sector is the agriculture sector, which also needs to be revolutionized, because it is the prime pulse of the Indian economy, and agriculture is at the core of socio-economic development of our country. It accounts for 19% of our GDP, and two-thirds of our population is dependent on agriculture. Therefore, the growth of other sectors, overall economy will also depend on the growth of agriculture sector. And green revolution, as you all know, began in our country in 1960, but now it needs another revolution. And India has to achieve, it has already achieved self-reliance in terms of food production, and India is world's largest sugar producing country. It holds the second position in rice production after China, and is the second largest producer of wheat. But in order to become Atmanirbhar, self-reliant, we need to place our farmers at the core. And time is quite ripe when the face of the agriculture sector needs to be transformed, and it needs to be revolutionized by adoption of new farm technologies, by use of hybrid varieties of seeds, by augmentation and better management of irrigation, by efficient marketing opportunities. And all these need to be replicated in other areas like horticulture, floriculture, dairy farming, sheep husbandry, poultry farming, etc. Next area which needs our consideration is the digital transformation, because we are currently going through the fourth industrial revolution and are at the cusp of fifth industrial revolution, that will be marked by the cognitive age, the more and more interaction, collaboration between humans and cyber physical systems. There will be more and more interaction between humans and cyber physical systems, and that will bring a transformational change in the human history, which will redefine the very fabric of our society and human existence. We already are witnessing the boom of artificial intelligence and how it is transforming each sector of our living. And we need to make it compulsory in our school curriculum. We need to bring in coding and AI early on in the schools, so that our future generations become familiar with these new age technologies, and they are ready to be the pioneers of growth in the coming times. And if we look at the health sector, every year new schemes have been brought in by the government of India, whether it is the Ayushman Bharat, whether it is the Mission Indradhanush or Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karikram or Swachh Bharat Abhiyan or National Health Policy brought in 2017. We have the Surakshit Matritva Ashvasan in 2019, in Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat in 2022. And in every year, government is struggling to bring in new promising schemes. Ayushman Bharat in particular has been praised worldwide. reputed journals like Nature, BMJ, NEJM have praised these initiatives, because these initiatives are drastically bringing down the health indicators. That is, the infant mortality rate is decreasing, neonatal mortality rate is decreasing, under 5 mortality rate is decreasing, life expectancy is increasing, and disease rate is decreasing. And same is the case with the out of pocket expenditure is decreasing because of things like Ayushman Bharat, Jan Aushadhi and Jan Pari, this Arogya Yojana, and the this overall health expenditure by the government is increasing, the social security is increasing, and health insurance coverage, universal health coverage is increasing. Same is the case with the education sector. In education sector, whole lot of new medical colleges are being opened up, IITs are being opened up, number of universities has increased to more than 1100, and number of teachers employed in higher education has increased over the last few years. So we are making considerable progress in all the sustainable development goals, but we should not leave everything to the government. At individual levels also, we have to take sufficient measures. Every stakeholder has to contribute significantly at individual level. That is, we need to donate what we do not use for goal 1. Similarly, for goal 2, we need to waste less food and support local farmers. For SDG goal 3, we need to vaccinate our family whenever required. For SDG goal 4, we need to help educate the children in our community. For goal 5, we need to empower women and girls and ensure their equal rights. For goal 6, we need to avoid wasting water. For goal 7, we need to use energy efficient appliances. For goal 8, we need to create job opportunities for youth. For goal 9, we need to fund projects that provide basic infrastructure. For goal 10, we need to support the marginalized societies, communities. For goal 11, we need to walk and use green electronic vehicles. For goal 12, we need to recycle paper, plastic, glass, etc. Similarly, for goal 11, we need to act to stop global warming. For goal 14, we need to avoid plastic bags. For goal 15, we need to plant a tree. And for goal 16, we need to stand up for human rights. For goal 17, we need to lobby to boost development finances. So these are the initiatives which we can take at our individual level. And our government needs to develop certain indices for constant monitoring of development, whether it is the Human Development Index or Inclusion of Social Development Index or World Bank Green Index. So these are the various diverse areas whose progress we can monitor by using these indices, whether it is the Innovation Index, Poverty Index, Gender Equality Index, School Education Quality Index, or it is the Export Competitiveness. For everything, there is an index. And our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has already come up with a campaign for the environment, which he called as Lifestyle for the Environment or Life campaign. This was introduced by him at this conference of this ecology environment COP26 in Glasgow, calling upon the global communities of individuals and institutions to drive life as an international mass movement. So what is this life? For 21 days, it is a challenge. For 21 days, one has to use, daily one simple environment friendly action has to be taken by every person for continuously for 21 days, whether it is a planting a tree or reducing the use of plastic, or conserving water, electricity, whatever it is. One simple step a day for 21 days is a challenge to change one small thing in our daily life and become pro planet people. The challenge thrown by our honorable Prime Minister. And then there are 7 categories of these 75 live actions are there, which are categorized into 7 categories. For example, there are activities related to energy consumption, water consumption, reduced consumption of single-use plastic, adopting sustainable food systems, reducing wastage and adoption of healthy lifestyle, reducing e-waste. So all of us need to think about these. We need to work in this direction, take small steps, small measures, small initiatives at our individual level, and also promote this in our schools and colleges among our students. Similarly, 5 parameters have been given by our Vice President Shri Jagdeep Dhankar ji, which he calls as Panch Tantra. So Vice President of India Shri Jagdeep Dhankar, while addressing the gathering during this inauguration of the Biotech Startup Expo at Kathua, Jammu and Kashmir on January 4, 2023, he outlined 5 parameters of Panchtantra, which he said were fundamental to the growth and progress of any nation. So, if we want to achieve Viksit Bharat, these 5 Panchtantras are very important for fundamental growth and progress of our nation. What are these Panchtantras? These are peace and stability, equality of law, transparency and accountability in governance, ecosystem that favors meritocracy and empowerment of women. So we need to follow this Panchtantra in all spheres of our life. And lastly, I would like to end my presentation with the poem written by Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, which is entitled as Where the Mind is Without Fear. So I will read this poem, this remarkable, this a very soulful poem. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom. My Father, let my country awake. So, with this remarkable and very heartful poem of Sri Rabindranath Tagore, I end up my presentation and thank you all for giving me this opportunity to share my views on this World Youth Day, Rashtriya Yuva Divas, on the 162nd birth anniversary of Sri Swami Vivekananda Ji. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your patient audience. Over to you, Dr. Kshitij Agarwal Ji.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for this valuable and knowledgeable presentation. I believe definitely those who are seeing this presentation or those we will be seeing in future, they definitely guessing there's so many things for the youth from this presentation. I just summarize some points for this presentation, sir. That the our youth definitely learn about the student strength and the capacities, soft skill for the success, especially for the youth. You have already said about the 5 domain of youth development. That is very effective approach. And what is the positive youth development? There are the different parameters you have told about the positive youth development. And what are the most important thing? What are the pro and cause of the use of now gadgets, digital gadgets? That's the most important thing nowadays. We even being in a parents, we also seen that the students are much familiar and they what want to do with these gadgets. They are the some pro and cause. So yeah, you said all pro and cause in very efficient manner. Thank you. Thanks a lot for sir. And what kinds of advancement you have done? We have youngest, and you have also said that we have a youngest population in the world. And that's the मैं ये जरूर कहना चाहूंगा कि हमारे जो इंडिया है, इंडिया में मुझे लगता है कि सबसे ज्यादा यूथ है और सबसे ज्यादा वर्ल्ड को जीतने की जो क्षमता है वो हमारे पास ही है, जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ हमारे अभी 5th हम नंबर पे चल रहे हैं वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी में. और मुझे लगता है उसमें 1-2 कंट्री जो मैं ऑलरेडी हर्ड, दैट इज जापान. तो अगर मैं जापान की बात करूं तो दे आर द वेरी एल्डर पीपल्स आर देयर एंड दे हैव वेरी लेस नंबर ऑफ यूथ पीपल्स आर देयर. तो हम उसमें ये हम इसके अपने यूज को अगर हम सही से यूज करें तो डेफिनेटली वी विल गेट टू द 3rd पोजीशन एज यू ऑलरेडी सेड. और ये and we have also studied about the different models of development. Then how can we achieve these Viksit, आपने बताया सर, that is how we can we achieve the Amrit Mahotsav to Amrit Kal. That's the most important thing we have learned from this slide. So the other different parameters which have already have clear very well. तो सर इसके लिए बहुत बहुत मैं एक बार फिर आपका शुक्रिया करूंगा और बहुत थैंक्स करूंगा कि इतनी वैल्यूबल टॉक आपने दी, इतना समय हमें दिया. इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद फार्मा लोग की तरफ से. मैं आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया करता हूँ. थैंक यू. थैंक्स अ लॉट.
Thank you once again. Thanks a lot.